Hello, now that you are done with your math review for today, I'm going to show you how to get the correct answers. Number one is asking what is the slope of the line? Remembering from yesterday, we need to figure out what is the rise and what is the run. In this case, we can see that our slope is negative, so we know we are going to have a negative value. We need to pick out two perfect points to go between, and we have a nice perfect point on the y-axis and another one on the x-axis. That makes it nice and easy because again we can just simply count. So starting at the leftmost point, because we want to move from left to right, we need to go down 1, 2, and over 1. So we are going to, for our slope, we went down 2, and then when we move over 1, normally we would write that as a fraction over 1. So we would have negative 2 over 1. But we also know that anything over 1 is just that number. So we're going to leave it as negative 2. Find the slope and y-intercept of the given linear function. Here we have our function written in slope-intercept form, which makes it really easy to pick out these numbers. Our slope is always the value attached to x, so here we will type 1/2 or 1 divided by 2. And our y-intercept is always the constant on the end. The sign goes with the value. So yesterday we had a positive value, or adding, so we had a positive number. Here we have subtraction, so we have a negative number. Given a point, -1, 4, and a slope of 2, write an equation in point-slope form. Again, from yesterday, you may remember that our point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where your x1 and y1 come from a point, and your slope is that value m. So we are going to look at now, we are given this point -1, 4. So in my point, I'm going to replace x1 with -1. And I'll replace y1 with 4. For my slope, or my m, I'm told slope of 2. Slope of 2. So I'm going to write 2. Now that I have my values, I need to plug them in. So y1, that's going to be my 4. M, that's my 2. And x1, that is my -1. Before we are done, we need to make one final adjustment, and that is to this right here. When we subtract a negative number, we are actually adding a number. So I will rewrite my equation as y minus 4 equals 2 times x plus 1. And this is the equation I want to write into my field. So I have y minus 4 equals 2 times x plus 1. Using the graph below, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. slope-intercept form is the same as that problem from number 2. Y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. For this problem, we need to figure out what is our slope and what is our y-intercept. If you notice that this is the same graph as number 1, which we already found the slope for. So the slope is going to be -2. Our y-intercept, we are simply going to look at our y-axis, and where the line crosses that y-axis is at 2. We are now just going to replace these numbers into our equation. So we'll erase m and write -2, and erase b and write 2. So we have y equals -2x plus 2 as our equation for this problem. Our final problem is to solve for y. Today's solve for is a little bit easier than yesterday, but I'm still going to show you how to do it. I'm still going to use my do-undo chart, because if that's the way you like to organize your thoughts, that's the way you still want to do it. I'm solving for y, so that means get y alone. I need to write what am I doing to y. As I look at y, I'm not multiplying or dividing anything, but I am adding. I am adding x. I don't know what x is, but whatever it is, I'm adding it to y. So that's what I'm doing to y. I may not know what it is, but that's what I'm adding to it. So to undo that, I'm simply going to subtract x from both sides. So I'm going to draw my line straight down from my equal sign and subtract x on both sides of my equation. Once I do this, on the left side, x minus x will make a nice big 0, and I'll be left with just y. On the right-hand side, I've got 10 minus x, so I'll write 10 minus x. If I want to write this in proper slope-intercept form, I can just put the negative x in front. Remember, the sign goes with the following item, so that negative stays with the x. Okay? There's nothing in front of the 10 because it's positive, so we're going to plus 10. Both of these are correct. If this one, the bottom one, makes absolutely no sense to you, forget it. This is all you need for your final answer. Y equals 10 minus x. And there you go. That's your last answer for today. You may have heard my puppy during this whole time. Ava, come here. Come here. Ready, set, up. Come on. So here he is. Here's the big whiner who's trying to get me to throw his toy. Okay, off. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.